What's up guys, Hoyoverse just released a new teaser trailer for Serval. I was lucky enough to pull her really early on, and I've really been enjoying playing her. So I wanted to showcase her and go over her abilities. You don't have to be lucky enough to pull her though, because you get Serval for free after you clear your level 3 of the Forgotten Hall. Serval is a 4-star lightning character that's great at dealing AoE damage and applying status effects to enemies consistently. Here are Serval's base stats at level 1 and max stats with max Eidolon level. So first up in Serval's skill is her basic attack. Like every other character, does 50% of her attack as lightning damage to a single enemy. Next up is Serval's skill, which does 60% of her attack as lightning to a target enemy and 30% to adjacent targets. Additionally, her skill can shock enemies. When enemies are shocked, they take 40% of Serval's attack as lightning damage over time at the start of each turn. Next up is Serval's ultimate, which does 108% of her attack to all enemies with no cap, and it extends the duration of the shock effect. Her talent, after attacking, deals an additional 40% of her attack as lightning damage to all shocked enemies. And lastly, her technique. So if you use her technique to initiate a battle, it does 50% of her attack to a random enemy, and there's a 100% base chance for all enemies to be shocked for 3 turns. So as you can see, Serval's kit is based on applying the shock status to enemies, keeping that shock status applied, and consistently dealing damage over time. Alright, next up are Serval's traces. Each skill just goes up by a percentage every time you upgrade it. Her bonuses are, skill has 20% increased chance to shock enemies. Upon defeating an enemy, attack is increased by 20% for 2 turns. And lastly, when entering combat, she regens 10 energy. And mostly, these outside ones are just crit rate increase, effect hit rate, effect resistance, and that's pretty much it. Alright, next up are light cones. Serval's path is the erudition. I don't have too many light cones right now, but these two have caught my eye. The first one is a 3-star called the Archives, and increases her ultimate damage by 20%. The other one that caught my eye is the Birth of the Self. This increases Serval's follow-up attacks. If you remember, every time an enemy is shocked and you attack with her, she follows up with another attack. Also, if the enemy's health is below 50%, it increases the damage again by another 24%. But we'll have to wait and see for the light cones available upon official release. Okay, next up is Serval's Eidolon Levels. Level 1. When you use Serval's basic attack, she does 60% of its damage to an adjacent target. So remember, this is 60% of her original 50%. Alright, next for level 2. Every time damage from her talent is triggered, she regens 4 energy. If you keep the enemies shocked, this talent will trigger every turn. Next up is level 3. But level 3 and level 5 are the same for every character. Both level 3 and 5 add levels to each character's traces. Alright, level 4. When you use her ultimate, if an enemy isn't shocked, it has a 100% base chance to apply shock to that enemy, with no enemy cap. And lastly, when her energy is over 50% or higher, her basic and skill damage increase by 20%. Okay, next up are her relics. We don't know what the higher tier relic sets are going to be yet, but as for main stats, because we know that her traces tree has a lot of crit rate, we'll probably see crit damage on the crit piece, maybe attack or lightning damage boost, and another attack. But we'll have to wait and see what the real relic sets are upon release. Remember guys that all this info is from the second closed beta, so I'm not really sure what it's going to change between now and official release, but keep that in mind. Remember to check out my Twitch. I'll be live every day until the closed beta ends, checking out characters. Thanks for watching.
Can't stop the rock. Keep up with my tempo.
Let's make it quick.
Ready to lose yourself? Fight it or rock with it. My music conquers all.